Henry McClure live. I think I'm live. How you doing tonight? Hey, hey, hey. What a good day. Man, I moved chairs today. It was so nice that the owner of the Schlotzsky's building donated the chairs to Agape Village. Isn't that nice? Got a bunch of chairs, and we're using some at the Republican Party because Agape loves Republicans. And plus, I'm the one moving the chairs. And I got some for the studio, which Agape Village will use the new studio. Oh, did I tell you I'm Henry McClure live? Because if you didn't know that, I want you to know that. And did I tell you I love you? We'll do that. We'll get that out of the way. And did I tell you I'm at the Glass Houses studio? And you out of posterity can rent this building. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Okay, so did you know that every month in Topeka, Kansas, Shawnee County, well, Topeka, the city of Topeka, we start 2.5 million in the hole. And so I don't know whoever's the longest on city council. Oh, you know one thing somebody said I should talk to Karen Hiller about is that soon as we get that city garage closed out at White Lakes, we'll buy it back from you and lease it back so the city can be out of debt. And I think we're rated AA bond. The bond rating, I think, is AA, which is 4.86%. So let's just add 2 points on top of that. Do a lease. Chop, chop, man. We're in business. So speaking of the old Schlotzsky's building, the new owner has decided it's going to be a house upstairs and office space downstairs. And so we were talking that between the Republican Party, that might, for the state office, that might be kind of a cool place to have an office. And I know, I think it's great they're going to share the Shawnee County office today. But, and Linnell and Phyllis, if you're watching, wait till you look at the new seats in there, dusted them off, getting extra credit. What else did I want to talk about tonight? Oh, I want to talk about a new listing that I'm working on in Emporia. And what's really crazy is I'm working on, so we've got a Pilot Auto Plaza under construction. And I got an opportunity. I think there's some retail opportunities and a hotel opportunity to put right next to Pilot. And what's crazy, what I love about life, if you can't tell I do love life, is that this road trip to California, back and forth, boom, it's like I become automatically a truck plaza, a truck stop guy. The difference between TA, Maverick, Flying J, Pilot, Chevron, just the gas stations. Man, I'm telling you something. To my Macerich boys, when I went to Lakewood, you ought to see the Chevron there on the corner of Delamo, on the southwest corner. The Chevron, they've jammed a McDonald's into that thing. And they got a security guard, and you walk through that thing, and you think you're in an airport gift shop. I mean, it is just so packed with merchandise. And Lakewood, I tell you what, I think we ought to put a bunch of guys together and go buy Lakewood from Macerich. And let's just start over. Let's go back let's go back to the early days of the mall business. When it was a town hall, Mace was funny. One day it's a circus or a carnival, and then the next day it is. You know, what happened? I think we used to have. What happened to the merry-go-round in there? But anyway, I think if you took a mall like Lakewood and just turned it back into like a hometown mall, go back to the basics, go back to Project Tiger. I always like to talk about that because it was nice that the big shots let me have my own project. What's so funny is like the Jerry Morgans of the world were my clients, and I was very successful at doing deals with local business people. And go that trip. Oh, hey, also too, if you want to call in, you can call in, and we'll put you live on the show. Did I tell you this is a call-in show tonight? But Lakewood doesn't have any personality. Oh man, I was really disappointed that my Carl's Jr. deal was gone. Remember that guy? Bewley Bewley knew the lawyer. I remember Ray always making fun of me. I'm standing up talking to that guy because this dude must have been 7 foot tall. And Mace and Carl Karcher were buddies at the horse track. So, Mace just said basically, give Carl whatever he wants, just add 12.75% interest on top. Okay. It's so funny when two rich guys get together and the deal's so easy. I mean, 12.75 back in that day, that was a good return on investment. And Mace was just going to give them whatever they needed because he knew Carl Karcher would be good for the money. That's the way it works there at the big shots, the big guys at the Cadillac range. Man, I want to take a minute and thank James Bolden Jr. I just love that guy. I love his attitude. I love his conviction to the Lord. I like what a solid citizen he is. And he's just really a good friend. It's like I got some clients that I work with, work for. Some work with, some work for. But like some of them, I don't care if I ever do a deal with them. I just enjoy their friendship and their company. They're good people. Man, you meet so many nice people. I guess that's what I have trouble with. I have trouble understanding the people that feel they're discriminated on or have a chip on their shoulder. I just don't get it. All you got to do is ask. The meek, I just don't believe the meek inherit the earth. I really don't. You got to ask. If you're hungry, ask for some more food. If you need something, you're not going to get anything unless you ask for it. And you got to follow up. If I got her phone number at night, I called her in the morning because just on the outside chance she really wanted to see me again. Get it? All right, so call in 785-235-3353 if you'd like to talk. Let's see. Oh man. So what else? What else do I got to talk about? There's Mike Siegel. There's my grandfather's bobblehead over there. Old bobblehead. Just saying yes to everything that go to peek in the chamber. So Matt Pavarnak is moving out of town. Moving in a grooving to Myrtle Beach. That's probably a big promotion. Congratulations, Matt. Get out when the going's good. I hope we have time to depose you before you leave. Ow. Just kidding. See, look, that's what happens. You make a bad joke. You make a bad joke, and you hurt your leg on the chair. Um, Property tax. Let's talk about that real quick. I don't know. I don't know, man. I got some work to do. Nobody's calling in. Hey, um, I will talk about uncollected taxes tonight because, and don't blame the property owner out there. Um, the only thing, and look, trust me, that deal that they proved the other day with the RHID and the CID, that was actually a good deal for the taxpayers. But we got to come up with the next plan now. And the city doesn't know how to negotiate with smart people. But Karen Hiller and Karen Hiller is my representative. So I sent you all the information on the tax code. You should do your job today, or there's no reason to reelect you, Karen, for no matter what. And Spencer, if you want to step up and be a leader and be the mayor of the community, well, you're going to have to toe-to-toe it with the big shots in a different fashion. Follow? Karen, I like you as a person, but when it comes down to the really tough votes, you don't make them. You don't stand up. You're not the mouthpiece. Earl McIntosh is running for Neil Dobrev's location. But I'm going to tell you what's so mind-blowing to me is how people are treating Elon Musk. I mean, who goes out and burns Tesla dealerships? I mean, what kind of people key a car? I mean, and what's a shame, there's this one girl in Congress that says on her birthday, we're bringing Elon Musk down. Well, what do you have in mind when you're bringing him down? Boy's got 13 kids. He knows how to get down. Is that what you're talking about? But seriously, how come there aren't people vocal right now saying, put your seatbelt on? Think about it. The guy from Philadelphia, he's like the big goofy guy that looks like Uncle Fester. What's his name? He's like the reasonable guy in the Democratic Party. What I love is and I was telling a friend of mine who's a Democrat, I said, what you need to do now, they're in a better time to get support federally. They're in a better time to get support federally to get what you want. There's got to be some stuff that that you want. I mean, I think that's the way to bring this. If that's what we're going to have to do to get this county in line, follow the law, to get the federal oversight to look at it. We've got a federal office building at 444, my lucky numbers. We don't comply with federal law right now for all the funds that come in, the highway funds that come in, that are earmarked for our road network. The MTPO. We don't comply with the MTPO. We don't comply with the Citizens Commission. We're hillbillies by not having a city, and we are hillbillies for not having a metropolitan planning commission. We're making a big mistake by having all the NGOs run by the Chamber of Commerce. We got to break that up. We've got to vote for the library board. We got to vote for the MTAA. We've got to vote for the regions. We've got to stop the same people appointing all the same people or their cousins to all the, it's all an insider deal. And we got to stop it. We've got to engage the voters. We've got to engage the public to get off your ass. I'm telling you something. If I run for office, I'm not going to ask for money. Zero. You know why? You pay too much money because of politicians. Do you hear me? Hey, make a donation to the Republican Party. Linnell, she can dole it out as she sees fit to put Republicans in office. And she's vetting them. Oh, I hope she picks the Make America Great people first. But she's more than qualified to help pick candidates. And what I want to do is segment myself so far out there that if you're supporting the other guy, it's like keying a Tesla. Because look, anybody that's in office today, they're not good because, in my opinion, because they're not running things right today. And I'm gonna get, maybe when I get done yakking here, I'm gonna get a couple of core requests going that are going to be significant. I want to know who actually owns the AT&T building. What if I'm wrong about who owns it and I've been yakking about it and yapping? So let's find out first who owns it. And you guys, you voters got to understand, Jetto is obligating us to $9.5 million in a lease and tenant improvements. So I want to read the lease first, because the lease will then have the breakdown. So that will be a core request. So, and I've been, as you think about it, should I add the who owns the building, the lease, should I put them all into one? But let's say the owner of the building, let's just say, I'm spitballing here, but let's just say that on an outside chance that person is a member of the Chamber of Commerce and donates money to the Greater Topeka Partnership, the Chamber, and Go Topeka. Let's just say that's true. Well, do you guys feel that it's public knowledge? We should know, because then there's a quid pro quo financially from the people who operate those NGOs, right? So I think that's fair game. And then I also want to have a copy of the notes from the meeting. So, because the mayor and Kevin Cook, they were at that meeting, but Molly Howie said this at the last meeting, the public is not welcome to those board meetings. They're not. I can't go to it. So you've got an NGO doling out our taxpayer dollars, and you got elected officials and non-elected officials deciding where our money goes, but a citizen can't walk in and hear it. That's not fair. We need some sunlight shone on that. Then last but not least, besides having those notes, I want to get a broker's opinion. There's a fella at KS Commercial, I think his name's Mike Morris. I think that Mike Morris, as a professional, he probably would have wrote what's called a broker's opinion. And as a real estate broker, I'm asked from time to time to give my opinion on the value or the deal. And he's got the listing on behalf of the owner of the real estate, whoever that is. And he would have, I think at that point in time, the broker and the company have a fiduciary relationship to the taxpayer to make sure that, well, hang on, no matter what happens, as a fiduciary to the industry, I've got to tell you honestly that I think this is a good or a bad deal. You can't just okay it based on who it is. I couldn't do it. So it's a tangled web we weave out there. So those are some of the issues that I have, and I want to know. I want complete transparency. But also, too, I kind of had a revelation today moving chairs. I'm not going to take politics personally. You know what I mean? I got stuff to do. I got stuff to do in Garner. I got some pad sites that I need to sell at $22.50 a foot. I got a great property to work on here. And I can't wait till I get to work on this when I can get when I can get Emporia a little further down the road. But I'm collaborating with Sterling Scott of SVN. SVN is one of the 5th largest commercial real estate people. And I've enjoyed knowing Sterling since I sold the shopping center to him and his brother Blake in 2001, the old Gordman Center. At the time, it had Bennigan's, and I'm pretty sure Steak and Ale had closed, and Car Hop was in place. And the movie theater, I literally did what was called the Country Opry deal with a guy that owned a hearing aid company. But I did that one on Project Tiger when I lived in California, in Ventura. But Johnny Carson, I got to tell you something. If you're watching, da 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 da. That's your cue. That's your sound cue. Da 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 da. Tyler Weibel is looking at Emporia now for his manufacturing plant that he's trying to locate. And I've got a listing. I'm going to work on a listing for a ceramic plant. It's amazing how life gets going. I moved back to Topeka originally and then I told myself, it's a good location. Because I am sick of flying. So I like, that's how Frank Sabatini used to make loans at Capital City Bank. He wanted it within an hour drive. He could just hop in a car, drive it, look at the asset. And I'm willing to drive a little further. Hey, I've made some commitments to some of the girls on Facebook dating that I'm willing to drive. All right. I digress. Okay, no call-ins. It's a half an hour. Went to Seven Brew just a minute ago. Oh man, I stopped off and grabbed a bite at that Golden Corral. Hey, it's all you can eat, but you're not obligated to. But you can eat healthy on their food. There are a lot of good things that qualify for Dr. Gundry's diet at the Golden Corral. And sometimes you just want some hot food. You know what I mean? And you can't spend your life in the kitchen at home, which sometimes I feel like I do. But at least you're eating good stuff. But there was just this beautiful family, and it looked like they had just come from church. They were all dressed up. I'm uh, like there were 10 of them and one in the oven, and they were just all the kids had manners, and they were nice. One little baby was crying, but I talked him out of it. Hey, how you doing over there? He kind of looks over at me. He was the youngest one that was outside. And you could tell the mom was pregnant and she just looked so beautiful. And then you look at all these little kids and all the just smiling faces and just so happy. And it made me feel good just to see all the love that they had amongst them. You know what I mean? It's nice to see a big group and all the kids looking out for each other. Holding their hand, going back to get stuff, and it was a nice moment. That's all I got tonight. Should get back to work. Say la vie. If nobody's told you they love you tonight, I love you. Have a good night. Sweet dreams.